field, and I have made a course correction. I can't make that airplane fly quick enough. I just don't have the time. That's my best looking airplane, but it's not my best flying airplane, so I'm gonna go to this, and John is gonna, I think he's gonna end up going to his backup too. to the local plane. But I can't speak for him. So in order to make this happen, I have to get this rudder painted because there was a screw up on it. Towels, we got towels up here.
I've run the bins. There's some here too, some really cheaper ones.
Not paper towels, oh okay.
Oh yeah, there's
Covering up towels.
yeah, there's towels.
This thing won't garner much in appearance, but I can make it fly. Here in the Midwest, we just don't have much time. I mean, this is not like California or Florida where you can fly all year round. By the time that I've got enough practice to fly where the darn season's over. So I don't have the luxury of monkeying around with trying to trim that airplane. It got better. Joe Gilbert at Rodax helped me tweak the flaps, and it did get better, but it's just not there yet, so I'm not going to bother with it. I brought in a roll of sandpaper. Do you see what I did with it? Huh?
Didn't pay any attention.
Here it is. You got a foam block up here, sanding block?
Might be one laying over there.
No, I don't see it.
There's one in that cupboard. Bottom shelf back of the cupboard on the left hand side.
Big block. Oh, there's one.
Should be 2 or 3 other ones in there.
So, after today, one flight, I made up my mind. It's back to this thing. Let me get you in here a little closer and see what I'm doing. Looks like John's gonna cut up a thinner can, make him a fuel tank. So I'm going to get the white on this, and I'm not going to paint the red unless it's 100% dry. Which I don't think it will be. This is from where I dorked the ground. I knocked the top of that rudder off on the inverted pullout. I did add an ounce of tail weight, well, 3/4 of an ounce of tail weight in lead next to the tail post because I used that clay. I haven't flown it since then, but it should be all right. When I go out Tuesday night, we'll be flying this one instead of the other one. Trying to get this dialed in. This one looks alright. I mean, I'm not gonna win the concourse anyway. Can't compete against Howard Rush's plastic dipped airplane. Instead of wasting your time, why don't you get your calipers and measure it?
This feels thinner already. In fact, I think it is. I'm pretty sure it is. So, I'm just gonna go ahead and take it apart. I'll use it somewhere.
Touch up the bottom of this too. Get alligator on the bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think there's something in this wood that's causing this paint problems. Too bad too, because this is a good airplane. It needs to be refinished again. Okay, so is this white or clear? This is clear. Is this white or clear? You want to use left-hand shears.
Well, lefts and rights.
I know,
Good
but
on each side, but I don't have left and rights up here.
you're trying to use rights, and
These are straight.
I thought yellows were right. Reds were left.
Reds and greens are lefts and rights.
A lot of people don't know that.
Yeah. I've done more sheet metal than 90% of the sheet metal guys out there have done. That's what I did. I did all wrapped in all the sheet metal, the columns and all that stuff, and hand windows and
We got air, or do we have to run the compressor?
there's some air, there's air in it. It's not turned on right now, but there's air in it.
This looks like white. I think it's white. Pre-mixed. I think this is the white that I had left over from that airplane. That's white, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, them like I say, them if you can find them little Brasso cans, they have the perfect size for a bung.
Where'd you hear that at?
I remember the Brasso can.
Yeah, I knew what brass came in. I think I'm all out of brass stock to be able to make one out of. I might be able to rob something I've already made.
As soon as the season ends, we need to get on them fiberglass fuel tanks.
Yeah.
The propellers and landing gear and all that shit. And I was talking to Jim last night, and I'm serious about making airplanes out of brown paper bags.
I don't know about that, but
I don't see why it would, minimal balsa structure in brown paper bags.
I know what you're shooting at.
Hey fellas, Alan, Jack Snavely, welcome aboard. Okay. Is this a good towel or a bad towel?
It's one that can be used for.
Give it up. Oh, it's a long towel. Okay. Ain't gonna do much painting. I mean, there's not much there. I can add the XL and the red at home. I think I still, yeah, I got it in the car. Buried underneath all that shit, but. Gotta love this style airbrush. I love them.
The only problem with these things is these bends in them. Have trouble hammering them flat. This is a lot lighter.
Well, that's one windy coat.
Ow. I'm taking time on this. I got a bunch of burrs on the edge.
Let's see, we got 6 watchers and 3 likes. Hey guys, hit the like button. Doesn't cost you anything. What helps the channel more than the like button, well, of course that helps, is leaving a comment after the video is over. Or leaving a super thanks after the video is over. Or the super chat. I don't know how the metrics work, it just works. Do I need to order some more dope too? Yeah, we got plenty of clear.
Cause I had all that in corners that on there.
Our shear at work, because it's so old, I think it's from the 50s, wouldn't cut it as good as that. It leaves a burr on the edge.
I used to be really, really good. Those are whites, but they're really not the best ones in the world. They're wore out, they're old, losing some of their teeth on them. But I could cut a 24-inch long straight edge that didn't have a ripple or nothing in it. No burr. Biggest thing I learned doing sheet metal work is never cut all the way through. Never go
Right.
all the way. It leaves a little dimple in it.
Yeah.
And you'll every time you do that, you have a little dimple.
I got a deburr tool that I bought off Amazon that works really well. You just go and it just peels the burr right off.
Yeah. This will be a pain in the ass to get it flat. I won't have to worry about too much because I cut my piece out of here. It'll be about like that. It'll be about 5 inches long and by about that. And when I cut that out, it'll be perfect. And then I'll put new bends in it and that'll take care of any little
Take this right here,
doodads. Oh yeah.
hammer it down. You think that metal's thinner than what you had?
Yeah, you can tell it on this already. You can just feel it.
This is what we used to make tanks out of.
Yeah, I know. It's tin plate. Gotta get all that logo off there. And I cut the bottom plate out. That'll be end caps. Instead of taking them out of that. You can get down there and get a piece of that other sheet metal. This is made out of that other sheet metal.
Bring your calipers. Yeah, that's pretty stout.
Yeah. That's that braided sheet metal.
So I'm gonna give another coat here. We're gonna flip it over. It's got a spot on the bottom where I slid that lead in there. I'll let it dry, and when I get home, I'll take that off, paint the top red, and put the XL back on there, and that'll be the end of that. It's not a 20-pointer. It's not it is what it is. It's a 7-year-old refinished airplane, but it flies good. Gotta do what I gotta do. Okay, should be good enough for another coat. Pretty warm. Did you bring your mic?
You can feel it, just, that's
Yeah.
not even a piece as big as that.
Did we show you ever how to hold that thing to get the right reading?
Yeah.
Let me see. Let me see it. Okay. You hold it with these your two little fingers. And this is a feel that you got to get.
Yeah, well, it's got the end on it. That gives you the proper.
Not really. This is 10, 11, 12,
Like 14.
13 thousandths. See that piece?
That's the bottom. That might be. I should doubt that they're making it out of it.
This is 11.5 thousandths. Let's see that piece there. It's 11 thousandths. Measure this other one again. So, in all actuality, that's probably 10 thousandths, and this is probably 14.
Yeah.
Because, see, it's 13.
13 something.
So, 1, 2.5 thousandths, but it's closer to 13, so. I would say that's 14 thousandths.
Yeah, you can just pick that piece up. That piece right there almost weighs as much as that piece. Let's see.
And this has paper.
Yeah, paper on it. Now I can see where this a little bit heavier would be good in, fat tanks or something like that. But
I can't believe this stuff ain't blushing at all. That's a good thing.
yeah, this could be metric too.
Yeah.
All this stuff's coming from China or wherever. It's definitely thicker.
What's that?
It's definitely thicker. You know the heat from your hand can make these things read off.
When was the last time you zeroed that, Mike? You got a 1-inch standard?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I probably do, but it's not a gauge block. It's a round. It's a gauge pin. It's cheap. This is Sears or something.
Yeah, well, it doesn't matter.
It's cheap. Its repeatability might not.
It's close. It's a 0.5 thousandths off.
Well, yeah, when you maybe.
Now, you don't tighten that up. You just till it touches.
I don't know. It just depends on how hard you touch it.
Yeah, you screw that thing down there.
Get down, open that up real good. Technically, this right here is all the tighter you should have to make it. And that does that.
See, the way I was taught to use a micrometer for measuring bearings at Harley is you hold that thing in these two fingers and you turn that drum with your thumb and forefinger, just like this. You hold it like that, and you turn it till it touches, and you gotta feel it.
Yeah, you gotta make sure it's sitting flat on the surface and all that. You gotta feel the anvils, and
It takes a feel.
you should wipe them off before you use it, because oil on your skin will make them.
But the temperature will change the micrometer reading.
Oh yeah, that's why they put them pads on there, so you don't build up heat as fast. Never leave them down.
No.
Always leave them apart. They can be close, but you leave them apart.
Okay.
It's a feel, you know. Some guys can get that feel down. But if you got really calloused fingers and stuff like that, maybe not.
I was a Harley mechanic back when you had to be a machinist. Now it's parts changers.
They've gone electric now.
I just heard electric Harley Davidson ad.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, electric Harley Davidson, yeah, sure.
Yeah,
That'll be a dud.
There'll be people that buy into it.
Well, they bought Buells and they bought V-Rod. Jim, saw you at the field. Just picked you up live at John's. Yeah, we were at the field and I've changed direction. I'm not going to fly that airplane, and John's having some issues. So, it kind of is what it is. There's a little bubble coming in that, but we're not going to worry about it. I'm going to get what I get with this.
You wipe it down with prep saw?
Yeah, it's the silk span coming up.
So you're gonna have chicken pox again.
Yeah, this is, for some reason this thing is chicken pox city.
Probably never cure it. Never ever.
Yeah, it don't matter. See it right there?
Yeah.
I gotta fix the bottom. Just what I didn't want to do. What?
Get in that holder over there.
Yeah, it's fine.
Well, if it didn't bend the needle,
It didn't.
or bend it up here.
Can't. Worry too much. Can't bend it up there, it's got the guard on it. Now here, if you look at it, it's alligator in here on the bottom. But you run your hand along there.
I can see it.
Never gonna be a beauty queen.
Yeah. I'd like to know what's causing it. And there ain't some lack of prep or anything like that.
There's something in that wood. Something in the wood. I think I'm just gonna worry about that one. It's doing it pretty good up here. I mean, this is an old airplane. You know, what are you gonna do?
It may be old in age, but not old in flying years. This one doesn't have a lot of flights on it, but all them chicken pox came out pretty soon after the original finish.
I would like to duplicate this airplane, but it's probably not gonna happen.
You know, I'm wondering, not that you would do it, but if you did. If you ever refinish that thing again, if you put a layer of clear water-based polyurethane on the wood.
That would stop it. What I would do is put a coat of automotive sealer on it. And then sand the sealer till it was real thin. I don't know if I want to go through all that work again. That was a lot of work.
It's a finish job. I mean, but it's still a lot easier than, but if it comes out bad again, you wasted a lot of labor. Refinish it twice.
I think the form of action is going to be fly this season out and build another one. Just like it, or try to duplicate it.
It's a shame all that good wood.
Yeah, but I got good wood coming. I have excellent wood coming.
I gotta take some measurements off that tank that I made for that Sunoco plane, cause it's right. It's an 8-ounce, barely 8 ounces. Might be 7 7/8.
wipe it off. Better wipe it off. As long as I can stay ahead of Scott, I'm happy.
Well, therein lies the problem.
What?
The problem that I've been sort of pissed about for years. There's such a thing called boom.
Yeah.
And it can't be proved. Although it's pretty obvious.
Thank you, Dennis Admission, for seeding FCM. This airplane has something done to it I hate doing. It's got an ounce of tail weight in there, or 3/4 of an ounce of tail weight. Can't take no more off the nose, so do something. Humidity's coming out now.
What's now?
Yep. Might have
Well,
to.
I know that feed's got retarder in it, so
This doesn't. This is off the shelf. This is not.
it's leftover, right?
We didn't use retarder for white on this plane. Yeah, there's no retarder in it. Huh?
No smell. The smell is always there once you use it. No, it doesn't have retarder in it.
I guess
thought
it could.
did.
Huh?
I thought it did.
I guess it can add a little bit. Pour this back in here. Put a cap full retarder in it. Shake it up. It blushed.
Well, it shouldn't hurt it on that, but
Well, I'm not gonna clear it, so I gotta be shiny. It feels humid in here.
it is. It's almost it's 56 or 7% humidity. We don't really like to go over 30. They showed some reporter being taken up with the Blue Angels or whatever, and they come down and said, yeah, took me up there and they pulled 8 G's with me. I said, bullshit.
Yeah.
I says, they got orders. They don't ever go over like 2 G's or 4 G's maybe or something like that. I think it's 4 G's.
8 G's is to the limit of the airframe.
Well, I mean, they train for that. I think it'll hold more than 8 G's. They definitely don't take a newbie up there with minimal training and throw them up there at 8 G's.
Let me add some retarder to this. So we're not gonna get much in there. Where's the retarder at?
On the floor over there by the trash can.
God damn it. Yeah. Thinner. Thinner. Retarder. Now I gotta get this out of there. You think 2 of these is enough?
You'll find out. It's all a guess.
Yeah, I know. It's all a guess. I watched another Wendy painting video talking about his 7-ounce finishes.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't believe that.
He's got putty and silver and sanding and silver and sanding.
I think that's about 10 coats of silver on that. I know. Not to mention that silver is every coat. You don't care how much you sand it, it adds weight.
I think Wendy'd have a heart attack if all he got was 1 quart of dope. 1 quart? No way!
Yeah, he didn't know how to act. Of course, he does sand. I gotta give him credit. He sands a lot. But, and it makes a difference when you use that M600 and you sand using it instead of water and soap or Windex or whatever, you know, it cuts better.
Yeah, I think that did it. Stay shinier longer. Let's see what happens. Get it nice and wet. I gotta make sure I got red and black in the car. I know I got some clear, and the clear definitely had retarder in it.
I know you've taken all that stuff with you before.
Yeah, I took it to Brodax. I was gonna do it at Brodax. 11 and 7. Wake up, guys. Get your super chats in for the Nats bandwidth. I burned through $150 of bandwidth at Rodak.
Did you?
Yep, 130.
Well, you hardly take any on Saturday.
No.
I'm surprised, you know, the reporting wasn't very good on that whatsoever. I mean, not because of you or anything, but there was a lot of other guys reporting on that. It wasn't very much covered. And nobody really blamed the air up there. It was nasty.
Yeah.
I mean, for Pampa, at least it was nasty. Taken for granted, Friday was a little better than Saturday, but not by much.
The wind wasn't blowing hard. It was just buffeting and blowing.
It was probably 5 to 15 miles an hour.
But it was going.
It went every direction.
Up.
Yeah. And gusts. You might be nothing one second, next second you got a 18-mile-an-hour gust.
That turned out good. That turned.
Harder work.
Yep. If it doesn't blush up between now and the time I think I'll turn it over and do a coat on the top with a rudder too, and then when I take it home, I'll be able to put that black XL and the red stripe on it. And then next weekend clear it.
You know, I set up county wants to make a metal tank
Yeah.
for that airplane, and I put everything up because I got lazy.
What's that tell you?
Had a plastic tank.
What's that tell you?
on
Don't be lazy.
metal tank. I did because I thought I'd save some weight.
Not really. Them plastic tanks weigh 2 ounces.
Yeah. It's hard to make a metal tank that's under 2 ounces, and I might be able to do it with that can.
What's my stabbing elevator gonna weigh?
3 ounces, man, I'm telling you, 3 ounces. I was gonna comment on there, you ask how much you guess it's gonna weigh, and I was gonna type in there 3 ounces. Somebody said 26 ounces, somebody said
26
Yeah.
grams.
was it grams, that
Yeah.
said? I said, like, nah, hell no, you got that in the elevators. More than that in the elevators. They're an ounce, weren't they?
17 per side to start before I sand it for the elevators.
Yeah.
They'll be down to 10. That's 20.
Well, maybe,
I'll get 7.
depending on how you sand them.
I'll get 7 grams a piece out of them.
If you use rods and sand them with rods,
No.
you can get more out of them.
Yeah, but they tend to warp and they don't look as nice as airfoil. And that stab is airfoiled stab. It is a nice looking stab.
Yeah, they build up pretty nice, but all mine came out heavy. The two that I built. And the wing came out heavy.
1 point, was it 1.15? I think it was 1.15 ounces, whatever that is. So that's 28 and 7. It's 38 grams. Is that right? 28, 29, 30, 1, 2, 3, 4, 35 grams. And there's minimal glue. And did you see that guy's remark? I about fell over when you took the paper towel and wiped all the glue off.
It's amazing. It would be dry to the touch. You won't even feel the glue on there.
Try to get it off, though.
You won't get it off.
You'll break it before you get it off.
Yeah, those 6 stabs look good, but I think they're small for the airplane. I think that airplane could use with more stab and elevator area.
Well, Gary, the today at the field was not really productive. First off, here's what happened. I got there late. I got there at 9:30. I was a half hour late. We set up the pop-up. The mower guy came by. We had to move the mower and the airplanes into the middle of the circle and wait for him to continue to mow the area. Then we set up, I got one flight in myself and decided that I would turn it up to 3,500. It was starting to lean out and sag at the top of maneuver, so it was too lean, but the airplane is not trimmed right. I can't make it turn and lock the way I want to. So I immediately then and there decided I'm going back to this airplane because I can make this one work. John, on the other hand, had moved his tank and redid his plumbing, and he put in 3 ounces and he took off, and it, as you saw, it went nuts.
Moved around wasn't worth the crap, and the tank wasn't running because the tank wasn't worth the crap, and it was tail heavy.
Yeah, tail heavy.
Big time.
So because it's so late in the season, for I mean we have 0. I have to go with what I know will work, and that's going to be this airplane. Doesn't look as nice as the other one, but it is what it is. On a little color right here. Try not to go too nuts to hide that dark spot there. So I'm basically just doctoring up the screw ups. And it is what it is. I get what I get, and that's just the way it is. But I'll have fun doing it because this airplane flies. I'll finish the season out with this airplane and okay. Now I'm going to show you guys a trick. Let me get you in close here. Okay, right here there's a dark line. Then what that is a glue line. So I masked off the area. I have folded the tape back so it doesn't leave a hard line. And I'm going to take the airbrush and dust in just enough white to cover that dark line. A couple of coats. And can't really get on it. And then I'll rub it out and it'll be just fine. Tricks of the trade. Ooh, getting a little too much paint in one spot. I got it up here too, but I don't think I'm gonna worry about it because that's where you handle it. We got one on this side. I'll dust it on right there. Use the towel as the blocker. We got one right there. That one's gonna come back, so is that one. That's the way it is. Just the way it is. And just before the gnats, it'll probably get gone over again. We'll get all the dings and it's got dirt on it. But we did get I did cover up that brown line anyway. We got one back here. I think we'll get that one too. Right here. That's a glue line. I'll show you the elevators that I fixed, and you can't tell that it was screwed up. So this is not really painting, it's just blending the color, darkening, or in this case, lightening up the dark spot. What the hell is with this hose? Oh, gotta stop. It's gonna start running. Yeah. Put too much on it, gotta run. So just stop and we'll sand the run out. It's one of the drawbacks of doing this spot painting. So I need to turn it over real quick. It'll run back the other way. Sag, it's not a run. Couldn't do that on real airplanes. Huh? On real airplanes, we used to take tape. Damn these hoses. We used to take tape. Does not fit in this holder. Oh. Okay. Piss on you. We used to take tape and put tape over the top of the run and then rip it off. Rip the run right off and then spray it again.
Yeah, if you had that on that rotisserie, you could lay it flat where it sort of mellow out. Sometimes if you paint more paint on it, it'll.
Yeah, but too much of a pain in the ass to put on the rotisserie. Got to take the engine out and fuck that.
Yeah.
I got a Byron Barker paint stand in the car.
I almost bought one of them a long time ago, and then I got cheap.
I got two of them now. So I'll just turn this over and set it on the ground, and gravity will hopefully. It's not a big round.
On the fuselage side.
Yeah, underneath. It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
I'll put that tank in that airplane and move it forward.
You gonna bring it out tomorrow?
Tomorrow?
Yeah,
Sunday?
yeah.
If I get a tank made and put in it. If I get the tank made and put in it. I'm not the fastest tank maker in the world. I did a good job, but I'm not the fastest tank
Well, shit, you got 24 hours. How long does it take?
I gotta sleep sometime. I've been up already since 2:30.
I'm pretty happy with that repair fix. I mean, the paint turned out okay. The rudder looks okay, at least in here.
Still gotta make sure you paint that red line on the right spot.
Yeah. Right on the brake line.
Not a half an inch above it.
It'll have to do. It weighs 54 ounces and it flies the best. Where's your scale? You got your scale up there?
No, I took it back downstairs. Yeah, it's a shame that airplane had all that problem with the wood. And chicken pox. That was really weird. That all I can say is that wood got sprayed with something by accident or whatever. Maybe even somebody at the sawmill was lubing up something right there when they were cutting the damn wood, you know.
Yeah. The only bad thing is if I put that polyacrylic shit on there, it's gonna add a lot of weight.
Yeah, that it will.
And what makes this airplane so good is it doesn't weigh anything. I think that was a 10-ounce wing. There's barely anything there.
Well, that airplane's been sort of jinxed from the beginning.
Yeah, ever since Jerry poked his hole.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You know, it started off. The airplane was pretty new. I mean, you went down to Huntersville with 5 flights on it or something.
I had more than that. This airplane probably has a total of 60 flights, maybe 50, somewhere in there. Oh yeah. Just since it's been refinished, how many short hops did it have? 20? I flew it at the Nats 2 years. Charles flew it 1 year. Not a whole lot, but not as little as you'd think. I kind of like this rendition better than I like the orange.
See better, probably. That orange that was primered before, wasn't it? The original paint job. I think it was, because that orange came out sort of dark.
I painted this in St. Louis. Go back and look at the Junar tapes.
I think it was primered. You did your typical shit, didn't primer anything on the open bays, just whatever little bit of overspray got on them. Because your orange doesn't come out as bright as orange on my airplanes with no primer.
It's a different orange.
Yeah, but it's pretty close. Orange is orange.
Not really. You look at that chart, they got 2 color oranges on the chart.
I know. You know how you can change one color orange to 5 different colors depending on whether or not you're using gray or silver or blue or whatever underneath it. Got a dinker in it.
Yeah, actually, it's not really. That's the tip weight.
Is it?
Yeah, it's not. Tip. It's that.
I wasn't getting that.
Yeah, it's a tip weight rattling in there. Yep, I turned it over. That fixed it good enough. We got the elevators covered pretty good. Where I had that green shit, I'm gonna paint one more coat of white on the rudder, and we'll call it good. Does it need it? No, I don't think it needs it. Yeah, maybe. In here, maybe.
Yeah, but where is your red going to be? Is it under the red where it looks like it needs it?
No, there's a spot right here where I had the green putty on and it's kind of got a green hue to it. That's outside the X and outside the red line.
Of course.
What?
It'd have to be outside everything just to make it that much more difficult.
Oh yeah. Wouldn't have it any other way. Wouldn't be modeling.
It'd be a pain in the butt to take that tank out of that airplane too.
Why is that?
Oh, 'cause I take sticks and glue across it and glue them in there. So I have to cut them damn things out and grind the epoxy off the end there where they were glued to the sides of the fuselage.
Well, would you rather have last minute paint issues?
Oh, I do, but they're not as much work as a tank. But I'll do up a tank and it'll run every bit as good as my other tank. And
You hope.
yeah, well,
I hope so for your sake too. I hate, see, we're having all kind of problems this year.
yeah, I know. It seems like there's an abnormal amount of problems. In my eyes, and normally have an airplane worked out by now.
Yep.
Well, I guess I do. Got the Sunoco plane worked out. You got one airplane worked out, so I guess we did. But if I'd been working on that Liberty all this time, it'd probably work out too. But because the brodeck and flying off of grass, I didn't want to use wing mounted landing gear.
If I wouldn't have dorked this airplane in the ground, I wouldn't have had to do this.
Like they say, if a frog had wings, he wouldn't bump his ass on the ground either. Where's that fun out of it? Sort of takes the wind out of your sails there. And I can't believe we're having, engine run problems and that kind of stuff. We don't normally have that. Normally put that stuff in there and fire it up and it's good to go.
Well, my problem with my Continental is I'm running a muffler. If I was running a pipe, I'd run the 3-blade prop that Randy said and turn the RPM and be perfect. But I'm trying to do something different. Just gotta be different.
I took that airplane right there, the Liberty, it's got the repitched prop, it's got the pipe moved out to where he says, and I still didn't have it. It was too fast. Which we didn't get a lap time. I'll have to go back on those videos and see if I can't time my laps from a video and see what they were, but I'll bet you they were down there at 5 seconds or 4 or 9 or something like that. Seemed like it was pretty quick.
Well, you gotta remember that the camera was probably not pointed in the right direction.
Yeah. Well, hopefully you got a couple laps in there that's timeable.
So the rest of this is just, that covered better with the retarder in it, it looks better. The rest of it's just elbow grease and painting that XL and the red stripe on it to hide the brake. But it'll probably flip off the stand and break just before the net.
Well, listen, don't leave it out on that piano stand sitting outside your door while you run inside and grab the airbrush. Have the airbrush and all that stuff outside ready to go, and then set the airplane on the paint stand and paint it.
My light stand came down and chopped this wingtip right off.
Yeah.
Bam, gone.
Like I said, that airplane's been jinxed from the get-go. It doesn't want you to have a Billy weight plane.
Yeah. Well, I gotta beat it.
You're not beating Billy, but you're close. I don't know how he does it. He's just got some really, really, really good wood. And when you build planes out of that wood, you can't handle the damn things.
Not till it's doped.
You'll break them as much as you handle them.
His pipe Thunderbolt is lighter than that. And I felt it. And I've seen the scale, and so it's not bullshit.
Yeah.
In 2004, when I saw that airplane fly at the Worlds, I gotta have it. And I didn't realize what made that airplane perform like it did. It's because it was that weight.
Yeah, that's a lot of airplane to get it that weight. It's damn near impossible.
Now Jim Lynch says for me not to get disgusted with the Thunderbolt that I built.
Yeah, but it's not fun flying an airplane that weighs 74 ounces. And it's even less fun if it's in the wind.
I think my Thunderbolt's gonna come out at 65. And that's just too heavy for me.
You're not a big guy.
No.
And a 64-ounce airplane will yank me around a little bit. A 74-ounce airplane really will yank me around. I mean, you gotta fly them the whole time. And when you come down from a flight and your arm's sore, then it makes you not want to go up again, It makes you sort of, I don't know, gun shy or whatever, but maybe not necessarily gun shy, but it just takes the fun out of it.
I'll let you fly this one. You'll see what it's so much fun.
I won't fly it,
Why?
because I don't fly other people's airplanes.
That's no good.
I mean, I can tell the difference. I got airplanes that are 63 ounces, you can definitely tell the difference. And there's no ifs, ands, or buts about that.
I would assume this turd that's in the bottom of this is trash. I mean, it's
Just dump it in the trash can there. It's got enough paper towels and stuff in it. Well, since we threw a bunch of them bottles away over there, I don't know what's what anymore. Get that little squirter thing right there and put some thinner in that bottle and put that feed tube and stuff back down in there and squeeze that thing through your feed tube where you hook it up to the spray gun. It'll clean that tube and stuff out for you.
well. Gotta get this bottle clean first. This is the last Iwata bottle I got that's untouched.
Not anymore.
Yeah, but if I get it clean, we'll be all right.
That's the problem with airbrushes.
I got it pretty clean, that one.
Is there a little teeny mason jar over there with thinner in it?
I don't know.
Be sitting right there if there was.
Nope. I gave you that case of mason jars. What'd you do with them?
Sitting over there.
I'm gonna take one of these jars. Now you can't have all these, but you can have the mason jar. But I'm gonna take one of these mason jars with it. That's a gallon of shit. I can't have all that stuff over there because, you know, I have to leave it in my car. Can't have it in the apartment. They'd freak out already if they knew what's in that apartment.
Not anything in there that'll blow up.
There's paint in there. I got.
So you tell me them people over there don't have hairspray and fingernail polish and all that stuff over there? Of course, the people don't look at it like that, but it's the same shit.
I got 2 tubs full of enamels, one-shot sign painters paint and all that stuff, striping paint, totes full of it. When I go back to St. Louis, I'm gonna go this 4th of July. Next weekend I won't be here. I gotta go get my car registered and all that. But I'm gonna take a load of material back to St. Louis. I take all that paint, my sign painting stuff, my t-shirt press, my easel. I've gotta start taking stuff in that direction.
I need to start fixing my spooge up, finish it up. It's a shame that I can't hardly trust club members.
Oh, they're ringmaster flyer. What do you expect?
Well, the only one there is Scott.
Well, you can have Bill help you.
No. He doesn't know how to launch an airplane. He'll push down on your tail wheel enough to dent the bottom of your fuselage with the tail wheel. Then they'll bounce up and there goes the prop.
Oh, come on.
No, he's just old, you know, I hate to say that. He used to not be like that, but he's old now and he can't bend over and all that stuff. And with electric, Scott flies electric, so he can basically, once Scott's got the handle, he can basically let it go and just get up and move off.
Okay. What happened to the cup that was on this thing? Here it is. How the hell did that fall off? These are good airbrushes. Pretty finicky
You
though.
pay for them.
What?
You pay for
Yeah, Danny wanted me to give him that one or whatever. No, I got that one fixed. The one we couldn't make work, that's this one here.
them. Well, I don't know if I'd want to price them now. They were $150 or $160 before. I might give me one of those Harbor Freight ones and see how they work.
They were just
I
as
bet
good
they
as
work
these.
pretty good.
Huh?
I bet you they work pretty good.
They work just as good. They just don't last as long.
I'd like to know what they did to it.
What do you mean?
What they did to that airbrush when you sent it back.
Put a new nozzle in it, and I got a rundown on it. Supposedly there was a chip out of the nozzle or something.
And that stops it from spraying steady.
Yeah. Not drawing.
Well, it was so small you couldn't see it. They threw it in the trash can, grabbed a brand new one, threw it, and gave it back to you.
I don't care. Got it back at work.
I'm willing to wager that they don't even dick around with them. Just like them little $9 Harbor Freight spray guns that we were getting, the HVLP guns, they're 30 some bucks now. Getting them for $9. I wish I'd bought them about a half a dozen of them or so back then. Kept them around. Stick that into that down in that thinner and give it just a little bit of air, and then it'll sort of blow real easy on the air. It'll soak you. I think that's one of the biggest things you need to do when you clean them out, is you need to take that needle out of them and wipe them down. It might not hurt to pour some thinner through it, but that paint gets back up in there farther than you think it does.
They said something about back flushing it like this too. Well, I got about 10 airbrushes now. I got 3, let's see, 1, 2. I got 4 Iwatas, 2 like this and 2 Eclipses with the cup on top for artwork. Then I got one that's you can adjust the pressure at the nozzle. And then there's one with the pressure at the backside. There's about 10 I got. Then I got that Grex. I wish I wouldn't have bought that one.
It's a good gun.
it's a good gun, but it didn't do what we want it to do. The fan's only that wide. Fan needs to be twice that. That would have been perfect.
Yeah, little Harbor Freight $9 jobbers.
Yeah.
They're the right size. Need a number 9, a number 1 tip. Minimum. Number 1's about right for doing a whole airplane. You get any bigger than that, then it's too much. Put on too much paint. And any smaller than that, then I think that Grex is a 8 or something. Might be a 6. Can't remember what the nozzle said on it. But it doesn't have a fan. That's its whole problem. It's got a fake fan.
Right. It doesn't have an adjustable fan.
Well, it doesn't have the extra holes in the fan nozzle part. It's just got that little piece of metal you sort of magnet on there that really doesn't do it.
I gotta make sure I know I got the black in the car. I gotta make sure I got the red in the car. But I wasn't gonna try to press it. Oh, let's tape it up and shoot the red on there and screw it up again.
What you did again?
Yeah.
Man, it's gotta be dry enough. You tried to put it on there a little too wet.
Actually, said the overspray here I'll sand off, but it flowed out real nice with that retarder in it. So I know that the clear I got's got retarder in it, plenty.
If I get that tape made and we can go out tomorrow, are you gonna have that painted?
Oh yeah. I can fly it without it being painted, it don't matter. Fly it right now. Yeah, it come out pretty good.
That round mellow out.
Yeah, it'll be fine. I'll massage it.
It doesn't take much. If it's only one coat that the rodent's in, they'll almost level themselves out with enough drying time.
It's right in the. It looks better than it did with the dark line on it, so. See, that dark line went away.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't see the run, so. It'll be fine. Not gonna win the concourse, so it don't matter.
It's a shame we can't get them wheels anymore.
I know a guy who's got a lathe, he could make them.
Don't have a rotary table. That's a $500 item.
Hi guys, hello Richard. Who all's on here? Might as well talk. Say something. We're about done, hour and 30 minutes in. I gotta let John go make his tank. It'll take him 24 hours to make that.
Takes me about
Month?
Takes me about 3 hours. I mean, you gotta start up and tear down, clean up and all that shit, and pressure checking and all that crap, it just takes time.
I gotta get some flights on that, get it closer. You know, I took that Gumby that I had on there, I kept it, and it started to turn good. I just weighed that up and I sunk it in the tail in one of them lead sheets. And I just painted over where you can't tell. The right thing to do would have been kept painting clear on it so that.
It'd probably been better, but
How many bars you got? 3, 4, I didn't know how much that shit weighed. Or how big the bars
a
were.
bar is like a,
A pound?
I don't know, but it's like a stick of butter.
It had a big wad of Gumby on there.
Well, yeah, but what is it, about an eighth of a bar maybe?
3/4 of an ounce. 0.7.
I'm surprised it took that much, cause do you have a shaft extension on that?
Mm-hmm.
And the tank's pushed back,
All the way.
and it's a cast tank.
Yep. And it's I think that's a Meslick spinner. Yep.
I can't believe it took that much tail weight.
Well, the airplane's 2 ounces lighter. And
Yeah, but you took 2 ounces off the wheels.
that's on the nose, isn't it?
Well, it's ahead of the CG, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Just add the Gumby on there.
It's right on the CG, actually.
Add the Gumby till it started flying, right?
Cause I know you took 2 ounces off those.
Yeah, with the wheels. That
You
wheel patch.
took them skirts off of it and put them little skinny narrow things on there and they weigh 2 ounces less, period, right
Yeah.
there.
I think from now on, all my wheel doors are gonna be just like that. Unless, like on the Magnum, cause I got them Meslick gear and I got a Meslick set of wheel pants.
70 ounces.
Yeah.
That airplane, like I'm telling you, that airplane is deceptive as hell. It seems little. But when you get it together, it's as big as that airplane right there.
Not as long, it only has a 13.5-inch tail moment.
I know, and it doesn't have as wide a stab, but the wings are a bit as big, maybe not chord wise, but it's a 60-inch wingspan airplane.
Gonna be 59 when I'm done with it.
And it's got a little teeny fuselage on it.
Yeah.
That's what makes it look small, that little fuselage on it. When you get all the parts and pieces together there, you guys sticking it in your car, you say, wow, this looks bigger than I thought it was. I built 2 of those, and they both came out heavy. Of course, I was young. I didn't know what I know now when I built them.
And when you white glue the skins on,
I didn't do that.
I did one.
I used epoxy, but I probably didn't scrape off as much as I should back then.
And it probably was Gumby epoxy, right?
It probably was regular epoxy and not finished cure resin or something like that, you know. And I probably didn't hairspray it and there was another guy that had one about the same time as the second one I built. And he brought it out to the club. And my airplane was 6 or 7, maybe 8 ounces heavier than his. And he said, I built that with all kit wood. I said, you couldn't have, because this is the second one I built with all kit wood, and you see what it weighs.
They took all the pine, the shipping crates, and cut them up.
It was terrible wood. All them kits were like that. The Mustang, the Chipmunk, all that shit. You can't use any of the wood that's in it. Well, maybe the motor mounts. That's debatable.
No. They're too short and heavy.
Well, you cut that one up that I made.
I cut it up and spread it out. I redid it
Why didn't you just get one?
because I wanted to get it done.
I probably have one over here that would fit. You just give me that one and get another one.
It's for 60 now.
Yeah, I wouldn't, you won't like it. You wouldn't like it if you put a 46 in there. I don't think that's enough motor. That 51 flew that airplane pretty good, but it was still sort of borderline. 60 will do it right. And you're right, those airplanes do fly pretty good.
Yeah, they did. I had one with a 60 in it. Flew good.
Sort of a thin airfoil.
Randy says, no, you gotta put one of my airfoils in it. They're all the same.
They're about like that.
Yeah. They're all the same. But they had a pencil line.
Unless you get in the Greenway stuff, and then he's got those 3.5 inch thick airfoils. That's too much. That was fine back in the days when they were trying to fix wind up and all that stuff before they knew
Low pitch prop.
low pitch prop stuff, you know, and they're trying to run that frickin' 2.4 thing that nobody could ever hit the needle valve just right, and if you did, you won the contest. You know, you hit the needle valve right.
I don't run this at 2.4. I just run it a hard fast 4. But it's a 6 pitch prop.
But it'll only go so far. It won't wind up.
Oh, it might.
Yeah, that one might. On a pipe they won't. I personally think that muffler's got too small an outlet on them.
Well, I know that I got the tube muffler back on it now. It runs better with the tube on it than it does with the tongue.
But yeah, more area.
You can hear the difference.
The volume is everything.
And I got the right stinger on it. The other one, the stinger blew off because it was too small. The weenie.
Well, let's see, that'll restrict it too.
Yeah. Anyway, it just.
I had a 40 FPS that I was using the stock muffler on. You got to bore the piss out of them, so I got pretty energetic one day and started drilling that stinger out by hand. This is one drill bit, next size bigger, next size bigger, next size bigger. I got it so thin it was almost like aluminum foil. Well, it broke, and it really still wasn't big enough, so I just cut it off. And I flared a piece of aluminum brass tubing that I had that was the right size.
JB welded on?
Well, I flared it, took the muffler apart, and from the inside out, JB welded it in there with a flare so it can't fall out. And I bent that tubing, I heated it up and I bent it and I cut it a little bit so it sort of come out and rolled down just ever so slightly instead of just shooting straight back, and worked really good. Who's somebody out there's got that now, I don't know. But that's what you had to do with them. And then I did another one where I took and I went one step further and I ground off all the little cooling fins off of it. It looked like shit, but it took like an ounce of weight off the muffler.
I got I got 4 of them in the back of the car right now. You want them? They were free giveaway stuff. Nobody would take
Well,
them.
yeah, because they're the wrong one probably.
Yeah, the big mamas.
Yeah, I don't care about them. Or them old Super Tiger mufflers or something that weigh 5 ounces.
The ones that had a stack that you could.
Yeah, that you could turn and stuff.
Yeah, it's about that big around, about that long.
I got a couple of them downstairs.
They work good.
Yeah, they work good, but they're just too heavy, too bulky. You got all that shit out there in the airstream to catch air and everything.
You need nose weight, that's the way to go.
I don't know that I would use it if I needed nose weight.
How do you like what I did to the Zambelli? Make me a ridiculous offer. Gave them both motors. Were you there when I did that? I know you were there.
Well, I was the one that suggested that he told that first guy that just make him a ridiculous offer on him. You
Yeah.
might be surprised. And he did, and you said, sold.
I did that to Zambelli too. He wanted one of them, the black gold cup. I said, well, take them both. He said, I don't have the money for that. I said, how much do you want to pay? He said, $50. I said, they're yours. I don't want to come home with them.
They're out there to sell. You know, everybody else walked away with half the shit that they came there with.
Yeah.
I saw the cars getting loaded back up, and there's the same amount of shit that was on the tables when they got there damn near. I went through the props and I found a couple top flight props. Those are probably okay, but they're a kit. You know, you gotta go through there and sand them all up and repitch them and all that shit, you know, but couldn't find any of those big props. I went through all that stuff again while we were there.
I got a 15.6 rev up while I was there. I got that from the factory.
And that's as big as they go though.
Yeah, then I got them other props from somebody else.
I went through the factory and looked at their props again.
Yeah.
And I saw it was 15.6 stuff. So if it was a 15.5, I might think about it.
Well, they had a couple 15.5s, but I was gonna take the 15.6 and cut
You
it down.
gotta look at them. I look at all those wood props and I won't just buy it because it is what it is. It's gotta have the right grain in it. If one prop is a different grain than the other half, I won't buy it. Because it'll change pitch. You'll have one pitch on one and one on the other.
Well, I got the 15.6, so I could cut it to a 13.6 and have a 13.6 paddle blade. I got it in the car.
See, I've never been a big 6-pitch prop guy.
Well, that's what works on Super Tiger.
Always been a 5-pitch guy. Now, back in the day, you know, I ran a 6, like a 10.6 on Fox 35 for a long time.
They need a 945.
But it's really too much prop for that motor.
Yep, they need a 945.
You know, and Dad was always there trying to get that thing blubbery rich on takeoff and shit, and you just, put a 10.5 on it. A 10.5 will run just fine on a Fox 35.
Well, let's see what we got here, if anybody has said anything. Nope, we got 10 watchers with 12 likes. I think we're going to end the stream. It's been 2 hours. You're probably pretty bored with us. I'll probably be back on at the house detailing out this rudder and rubbing out the overspray that I got on it and getting it ready to go. So thanks for watching. Please leave a comment. Not bored, just busy, Steve says. Yeah, we're just sitting around lying to each other right now. All right, we'll see you at the apartment. Fair winds, tight lines. See ya.
Bye.